Hi guys, I am Lindarian, the creative creator, and today I just wanted to just give my story on my journey and how I've been so blessed to come to this earth with a gift. And the gift is life. A gift of being able to get through things so that I'm able to tell my story to other people. And I will say I do not look like what I have been through. And so for that, I definitely feel blessed. How many of you ever been bullied in school or been bullied as an adult? Growing up, I definitely was bullied. I couldn't stand school. I couldn't stand kids. Not all kids, but kids are, they can be extremely cruel and extremely blunt. They call it like they see it. And I felt like growing up very deep in religion where I had to look a certain way, act a certain way, not participate in a lot of the things that other kids my age were participating in, not being able to look like the other kids that I was around. It really impacted my life in a very negative way at that time because now I understand why I went through things that I went through and I appreciate every last one of those struggles. So when I was younger, I had the opportunity to go to public school, and then there were times that my parents could afford to send me to our church private school. And it really sucked because I didn't fit in the public school or in my church school. And my hair wasn't as long as the next girl. My outfit wasn't as cute as the next girl. I mean, really going to public school, elementary school, with a long skirt down to my ankles and my hair braided up, I definitely was a target of bullying. I definitely remember a song, and I know exactly who made the song up to this day, but I'm in a better space, so I'm not even going to put their name out there. I do not give anyone who has hurt me the power to, there's no power there, okay? But they used to sing a song, Spider Monkey. There's Spider Monkey Rider, Spider Monkey. And I mean, I used to be so upset. Oh my gosh. I would fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. Get kicked out of school. Had the principal sending me home. I remember the day the principal was just fed up with me, that she literally drove me home herself. So I was in deep hot water with my mom at that point. Extreme, like the principal dropping you off. And to this day, I was working in a salon back home, and I remember she walked into the salon and she remembered me. And she remembered Miss Hubbard is her name. And I love Miss Hubbard. She's an amazing lady. But she definitely drove me home from just fighting. But I was fighting because I was so angry. I wasn't happy. I just didn't want to even be in school. So the quickest way to get out of school was to fight. I would fight. I would skip school. I would cheat on my test. My parents were so strict that homework was a must. I would do my homework and not turn it in just because I didn't care. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it. So it wasn't getting done. And if it was getting done, I wasn't turning it in. I don't have no time for this. I don't want to be here with these kids. Right? And so then my parents would put me back in private school. And because my family wasn't the same caliber as another family in the church, I still got treated terrible. So I just hated school. And I hated being in these spaces where I wasn't accepted. And so then I learned how to survive. I learned how to figure it out. And she's still my childhood best friend. Her name is Naomi. Nene. Yes, I did do that. I'm Mumu, so I'm gonna put me out there too. But like she and I both went through a lot growing up. I would say that she probably went through more than me growing up to a capacity, but she was like my ride or die. Like that friendship got me through school. Like it got me through. Like I was so grateful to have her in my life. Like my rock. I don't even think she realized to this day how much she impacted my life because just finding friends was so difficult for me. Keeping friends was difficult for me. And she rode with me. Like that girl, she had my back and I love her so much. Um, but I also suffered a lot of depression as a kid. And I think growing up, how I grew up is not really something that you talk about. Like depression and anxiety. Therapy wasn't really something that we talked about, especially in the Black community, especially going to a church where you just have to pray about it, you know. And I am a huge, huge fan of therapy. It is necessary because we all need some form of healing in our lives. And sometimes you need an unbiased opinion to kind of help you navigate certain things in certain areas of your life that maybe your parents don't understand and maybe a family friend wouldn't understand. And so I think therapy is extremely important. But I suffered from just a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, and I just wanted to take my life multiple times. Multiple times I wrestled with dying. You know, I just didn't want to live. I didn't want to be here. So, just battling that, I was young, so it really took a toll on me. And then just growing up, still not feeling pretty enough, feeling good enough, feeling accepted, it put me in some really dark spaces mentally. And apparently, even now, I still get choked up about it. I don't want to cry right now, but apparently the tears want to kind of drop regardless. But now I understand why I had to go through the bullying, why I had to deal with feeling like an outcast, why I had to deal with mental illness, with just, not wanting to be here, you know. Um, it's a lonely path, and it started at a very young age for me. And then, like I said, in previous videos when I first started to awaken and I really wanted to get my message out, I I still am taking a second to gather my composure. I do apologize. Um, I definitely lost some people to suicide, and I definitely am extremely passionate about how people are treated. You definitely want to always treat people the way you want to be treated. You want to be mindful of somebody's mental state. You want to always be mindful of somebody's mental state. You do not know what someone is going through in their home life. You do not know what somebody's going through in their body. You do not know. So it is not anyone's place to speak on anyone's life outside of their own. And now I have been in a space where I'm older and I'm wiser and I've been through so many things. And as I go through my Gaining the Eyes to See series, I will definitely be transparent about everything that I can be transparent about that won't hurt another person. I will definitely be telling my truth, and I will also try to be as sensitive to other people when I am delivering my truth. Um, but awakening, just I was speaking in my last video about the 7 stages of grief that I went through. And just like the denial and the anger and everything that led up to me just accepting who I am and what I am. And I realized that early on in my life is where my journey fully just really began. It began a long time ago. And I went through all of those things because I could get through those things. I could live to tell about it. I could help the next person, you know, and I have such a strong passion for the youth. I have a strong passion for a battered woman or anyone that is in pain. I have a very strong heart towards those people, towards those situations. But in doing so, waking up, I started to explore different avenues of learning about who I am, what happened to me, and like just how do I navigate this new version of myself. And then I ran into a video with Ralph Smart. I absolutely love Ralph Smart. He doesn't even know me. He doesn't know how much he has helped me in my journey to like just helping me navigate like my diet and navigate like, you know, my purpose and why I'm here and why I'm going through these things and just like facing my shadows. And, when you're going through the darkness, it can be very overwhelming. It can put you back in a suicidal space. And I definitely was there. Again, I found myself facing myself, hating things that have been done to me, that I have done back to people out of revenge. Like, just really having to be real with myself. Having so many mirror moments nearly killed me, you know? I remember just falling out on the ground in my backyard, crying. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live. And there has been so many moments in my life that I've had those moments where it's just hard for me to really just want to be here. And it's crazy because I could get up every single day and I could smile and I can be who I needed to be to help the next person. But inside I was suffocating. Inside I was dying. Inside I was alone. Inside I was bitter and battered. Inside I was dead already. I just needed to leave this physical body. And growing up, I already knew this. If you suicide, you just, you're damned to hell. I have a different outlook on that. I feel like if you commit suicide, you just have to come back and do the test all over again. It's not my place to condemn anyone to hell. Anyone. I do not agree with anyone condemning anyone to hell over any reason. Because, first of all, we are not the judges of anybody, and none of us have died to even know to speak on it. So, anyone speaking on what happens to somebody after a life has been taken or they've taken their own life, they are wrong because they are still living and no one has come back from the dead to tell them, I'm in hell. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't agree with that at all. And when you think of the universe, you think of the universe and vibrations and numbers and frequencies and everything around us. The universe is constantly speaking to us. Colors. This is a very calming color for me. Blue is very calming for me. Um, so, laying in the backyard of my house, probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was sober, just depressed and ready to die. And I was on the ground crying, begging God to just like take me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, just ready to go. And my significant other at that time found me in the backyard and he could not console me. He could not help me. He just didn't have the power to help me. He didn't know what to do. My sister has saved my life on multiple occasions. And I remember I went to her. He mainly made me go to her. And honestly, I don't even know how I got in her house. I don't know how I ended up with her because I was so just out of it. And I remember my sister singing to me every song that she could sing. She sang life back into me. And she just kept singing and she kept singing. And she was literally bringing me back to life with her voice, with her words, with her songs. And everything she sang to me was bringing me back. It was just bringing me back. And then multiple times my sister has had to talk me off the edge, talk me off that cliff, you know. And this time she sang me right off that cliff. Her voice is beautiful. And I don't know what that was doing to her inside to have to bring me back because she is my only biological sister, and to lose me, I can only imagine what kind of pain that would leave her in. Leave my family in, leave my children in. But I was okay with leaving everybody. I was okay with walking away from my kids, from my family, from my sister, from everything and everyone. And on the outside, I had my own salon. I had a relationship that was good. I had a house. I had all these things. And no one knew that on the inside, I was dying. I was not okay. I could throw a party. I could smile. I could do any kind of event with the biggest smile, but at the end of the day, I had to live with myself. I had to live with these demons that were fighting me to take me out because they knew I had a bigger and greater purpose. So they didn't win. I would like to thank my sister for loving me, for singing life back into me, for answering the phone every single time I needed her the most. And I always encourage anyone, like if you're going through something, please do not go through it alone. Do not go through it in silence because there's somebody out there that's relatable. There's somebody out there that got your back. So, as part of my healing journey, as part of me gaining the eyes to see, the one thing that I know for sure is that I have to be transparent. I can't hide these moments because I can't help somebody if I'm hiding the things that has happened to me. So today, I didn't expect to get super cryy, but it is an emotional topic. And I kind of got off a topic because I really had a topic, but apparently something else needed to be said. But just know that everything happens in its perfect season, and there are no coincidences. Everything happens the way it's supposed to, and when we take a step back and realize that you are being tested and that you are strong enough to get through any of these tests, and when you don't feel strong enough, there are so many people that has been through similar things that will be happy to answer the phone, happy to sit with you, happy to help you. Please take advantage of that. On that note, I've gone longer than I really wanted to today on my video. So I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for growing with me. I thank you for just being patient with me uploading my videos consistently. I promise I'm working on that. I've let life get in the way of a lot of things, and I'm just tired of making excuses for myself. So here I am, and this is how it looks for me right now. But when my situation gets a little better, when I get a little more knowledge on how to work all these videos, my kids can do this stuff. Me, oh my gosh. I thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I am Lindarian, love and light. And if you know someone going through something, please reach out. Just a simple check-in is all people need sometimes. All right. Love you.